Alright, what's going on, guys? SimNode here. Welcome to episode 4 of the bot coding tutorial, where today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a more productive command. In fact, I'll be doing two commands. I'll be doing the ban command and the kick command because they're literally the same. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create a new command file. Well, we're going to name it ban.js. We're going to get straight into this. It's actually very simple. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over here. You can go ahead and copy the same thing over and over again because this is what you're going to need anyways. The only thing that's really going to change is .help here, and we're going to go ahead and change this name to ban. Alright, I also want to say I have actually moved over to Visual Studio Code because it's a little bit easier to code in. And it's an amazing IDE as well. I've actually gotten used to it. So basically what we can do now is we're going to go ahead and obviously we're going to declare variables for the target and stuff. Also, I have left the source code for every episode in the description down below. So I created a GitHub, I created a repository for the series so that you guys can go ahead and get the source code straight from GitHub. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to first need a target, and that will be from message.guild.member. And you're going to do message.mentions.users.first or message.guild.members.get and then args0. Basically, what this says is basically the target. So from the guild, it's going to select the member that has been mentioned. If there is no mentions, it's going to get the guild.members for arg0. So for example, let's say you type their ID, so that means that it'll work. As long as they are on the server. If you want to make it so that it's not on the server, you're going to have to change it so that it checks for either arg0 or it has a target. But we're going to keep it simple. We're going to go ahead and say just simply .target. And next, we're going to need a reason for that, so we're going to get reason, and then this is going to be args, no, actually, it's going to be args.slice1, and then .join with spaces. Basically what this is saying is we're going to slice the args, args.slice1, so we're going to slice target, so that it ignores target completely, and then it's going to join with spaces. So let's say when you type something like ban and then the target, it's going to cut this out, the reason, so this won't be counted as the reason, and the reason starts here. So what the reason is going to be is, let's say what the join does, it's basically going to join every single word with a space. So let's say you do hello world, let's say testing reason, it's going to join this with a space, so you make sure you have to put a space. If you join it with a, let's say, semicolon, you're going to have to put a semicolon every time you finish the word, and so on. So that is what it does. And we're also going to go ahead and get a logs channel. So let logs equals message.guild.channels.find, and then I'm going to find the name of the channel, and the name of the channel will be logs. Now you can go ahead and put this as ID and then change this to ID. Now what this is doing is going to go ahead and find, if you want to know what message.guild is, it's basically grabbing the guild that the message is on. And the reason why you need to put message is because we're in a message event, so that it knows it's a message. And the channels, we're going to find channels. If you can go ahead and put this to roles if you're trying to look for a role, but I'm going to keep it channels because we're trying to find a channel. What you can also do is we're going to go ahead and go to our config.json. We're going to go ahead and do a logs channel, for example. And we can go ahead and put this as logs. And then what we can do here is go back into our ban.json, and I'm going to go and create a new constant called config equals require dot, I believe it is, hold on, it is actually this, and it is config.json. If I'm not mistaken, it should be right. So anyways, so you're going to go ahead and get the config, and what you do here is go to config, and .logs channel, and this will grab this as their name. So every time we can go ahead and make it so that it's customizable simply in the config, and you can completely ignore the fact that you need to edit the code. So that's all good. Now we're going to make sure we're going to need to check permissions. Let's say someone doesn't have permissions. And to find a list of permissions, you go to distort-app.com, and you're going to go ahead and go to more, if it shows up here, more, and you're going to go ahead and go down all the way to developers. And then you're going to scroll down to topics, and then you're going to find permissions, and you'll see all the permission flags right here. It's also available in Discord.js, but I'm never able to find it for some reason. I just cannot find it. I think it's in permissions, perhaps. Type permissions. Flags. There he is. There it is. I found it. So this is where all the permission flags are. You can go ahead and find this one. I kind of like this one more. Alright, let's go back here. So we're going to go ahead and make sure we're going to check message.member. Why you didn't do message the author is because message the author is getting the user. And because it is a user, a user cannot have permissions. A member does. So you're going to have to put it message.member instead of message.author. So message.member has permissions. Now, make sure they put an exclamation mark there, which I always forget, by the way. The exclamation mark means if they don't have that permission. This permission here is for a single permission only. You can also use has permissions, which is a plural one, meaning that you're going to have to check if the guy has more than one permission. So it's actually deprecated as well. I believe that you have to use dot permission, yeah. So with an S, it's actually deprecated. So you can go ahead and do it. If they don't have the permissions to ban members, which is right here. Where is it? Ban members. So I can find it. There we go. So if they didn't have this permission, allows banning members, they are not going to be able to ban anyone. So he's going to return so that the code doesn't continue. I'm going to say message.reply. Basically, going to mention the user before it replies. What you're going to do message.reply here, you can go ahead and set this in a config or a language file, but I'm going to go ahead and keep this inside a code for now. We're going to get into language files in the future, but for now, we're going to go ahead and do message.reply, and then let's say something like, hello, you do not have permissions, you do not have permissions to use this command. So what this does, this / here or \, basically it's going to separate this little whatever it's called, the the quotation mark from the string. So you can go ahead and just remove this and just do not have permissions, and it's fine. It's the same thing. Right, so let's say they have permissions. You're going to check if there's no target. So if they didn't mention someone, they're also going to return the code so that the code does not continue. Message.reply, please specify a member to ban. And then after checking that, you're going to check if they have a reason. If they didn't have a reason, you can go ahead and return a message.reply. Please specify a reason for this ban. So basically what we're saying here, if the author, the sender, ran the ban command without a target, it's going to go ahead and say, please specify a member to ban. If they specified a member to ban, but there's no reason for that, then it's going to go ahead and say, please give me a reason to why I should ban this guy, and sort of things like that. And then the final things you're going to need to check if there's no logs channel. And there's no logs channel, you can go ahead and continue the code so you don't actually need to return it. But I like to return so that it logs everything. So you're going to say, please create a channel called, you can go ahead and then, let's use backticks here. Let's use backticks so we can use a function, or variables in here. So you're going to do config.logs channel called logs channel. And then you're going to go to log the bans. Basically, this is basically it. So it's saying if you do not have a logs channel, it's going to basically say the name of the logs channel from the config and say log the bans. So that is pretty useful in my opinion. It's very, very useful. Yeah, actually, in fact, you can go actually change it to logs, I believe. I'm not sure, I never really tested that, so I'm just going to go and put it straight back from the config. But if all of this has been acquired, so all of these have been acquired, so we're going to go ahead and make a new embed, do discord.rich embed, and we're going to go to set color. And what you can do is find a color called a hex color codes on Google, and hex color, and you can go and select a color right here and whatever color you want. But I kind of don't want this, because if you actually have this, it's going to give you the same color every time. So I like to use a string called random, which is actually from discord.js. What random is going to do is going to randomize the color every time the embed is sent. Otherwise, you can go ahead and make a let colors equals something like an array and then a bunch of color codes in there. What you can do with a bunch of color codes here is then you're going to get the result of the color codes, and then that is let's say let colors equals, let's say, let's find a color. Let's do blue here. Let's get this aqua color. Let's go ahead and hashtag and paste this. And you're gonna do another one, which is, let's say, dark blue. I don't know why. What you can do is do a hashtag here, and once you've done that, you can go ahead and do let results equals math.floor, math.random, and times the length of the colors, so colors.length. And once you've done that, you can actually come back to here and do colors, and then results, and it'll randomize between these two colors. It's going to sound like these two colors every time, and I think that's pretty cool as well. But I kind of personally like to keep it random. So I simply like it so that it's random best. So next we're gonna need to know who was banned. So we're gonna add a field. Before we add a field, let's do is set a thumbnail. Let's set the thumbnail to be the member who was banned. So we're going to go ahead and do target.user.username. Reason, because if they are banned, if you mention them, it's going to set invalid user on mobile, unless they already fixed that issue with the mobile. I'm not really entirely sure. However, you can go ahead and use tag as well, and it's going to give you their tag. But I personally like username. It's avatar URL, because we're not trying to print the URL. We're trying to get the image. Sorry. Add field banned member. So we're gonna get the member who was banned member, and that would be backticks. We're gonna use backticks because we're gonna use a variable, and we're gonna go ahead and do target.user.username with an ID with ID. You don't necessarily need to put the ID, but if you want to unban someone with a command, you're gonna need their ID. So with ID, I believe target.user.id. And the next thing you're gonna need is who banned the member. So banned by, you can change to whatever you want, honestly. And backticks. Message.author. This is where you're going to need to put message.author.username with an ID. With an ID, and then you can go message.author.id. And you can go ahead and add another field here. We're going to say banned reason, so that we know why he was banned, and the banned reason would be reason. And that, you can pretty much stop it right there. You don't really need much more. If you want to know when they were banned and stuff like that, then go ahead and do an extra field, which I'm going to do above reason. So we can go ahead and say banned at ban time or whatever you want to do. Say, we're gonna go ahead and do a message dot created at. So it's actually a thing by Discord.js. So you go ahead and do created at. So if you go ahead and find message dot created at, it is gonna be saying where the message was sent, or the timestamp of when the message was sent, or if you use created timestamp. So that's that. You can also do another field which is called banned at, so we know which channel he was banned in. So you can do message.channel, which is pretty much a message, and you can find channel here, and it's going to be the channel the message was sent on. And that's pretty much it. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to set the footer. Banned user information. You can go ahead and do target.user.display avatar URL. So now we can go ahead and display the avatar URL in the footer, which I'm going to show you guys in a moment. Next, we're going to go ahead and send them. Now we're done with the embed. What we can do actually now is we're going to go ahead and log. We're going to log this into a logs channel, and we're going to also ban the user. What you can do here is, first of all, we're going to ban the user. We're going to send a message so that we know that he was banned. So message.channel.send, and then we're going to go ahead and do backticks, and then target.user.username was banned by, and then you can go ahead and do message.author for, and then your reason, and that's that. And then you can go ahead and ban it. So target.ban, and then you can do reason. That is all you need to do. Target.ban reason, ban, and then the reason is there. You can also put another thing here. So it's 7. So basically, it's gonna delete the message for the past 7 days, which is also pretty cool. But I'm gonna keep it simple with just a simple reason. And then once that is done, it's going to go ahead and log the channel. So we're gonna go ahead and log it. So we're gonna do logs.send, and then the embed. So we're going to send the embed into the logs channel. And once that is done, honestly, you're pretty much done. So let's go ahead and wait for terminal here. So we're going to go ahead and run nodeindex.js. And our command ban.js has been run. And yeah, there we go. Our bot is now on. So if I have my second account here. So let me go ahead and go to here and do Discord channels.me. What we can do here is we're going to go ahead and do ban, and you can see it's going to say, why is that another? And, okay, I do not know why it is saying my bot is there. Hold on a second. Right, I simply just went ahead and kicked my bot here. I don't know why it was reacting to it, because that was not the prefix. I'm gonna have to fix that bug soon. But anyhow, please specify someone to ban. So if they can go ahead and ban. Ban is gonna say please specify a member to ban, and let's do specify my second account. It's gonna say please specify a reason and test lol, and you can see I'm gonna be banned. Well, I won't be, because I don't have a logs channel to log the ban. So please create a channel called logs to log the bans. So I'm gonna go ahead and create a logs channel here, and we're gonna go ahead and put this up here, and we're gonna go ahead and do that again. This time I should be banned unless there's an error. Target is not defined. I spelled target somewhere. Okay, that is just embarrassing. I didn't even realize that. Okay. And that should be it. Honestly, there shouldn't be more mistakes now, and I should be banned. I'd be banned for test lol, and logs I've been banned right here. If I go back to our server settings and go to bans, you see my ban reason is lol, test lol. So if I go back to my Discord here, and if I try to join the channel, let's create a quick invite. If I try to join, I won't be able to because I'm completely banned. So now if I go ahead and unban myself again, if I can find it, revoke ban, and now I can. There you go, back. So this is how you can do ban. And to go and do the kick command, you're gonna go ahead and copy this entire thing. Go to new file, go to kick.js, paste the entire thing, name this to from ban to kick, and change this from ban to kick. And you're gonna go ahead and change a bunch of stuff here from banned to kicked. Let's go ahead and copy and paste all these. And I think that's about it for the kicks, kick, and finally kick. And that should be it, honestly. That is literally it. Let's go and restart the bot. Our kick.js is now ready. Let's go ahead and simply kick my second account. And I need to specify a reason, test, and boom. And now we kicked them for test, and here we go. As you can see, the embed has a different color as well each time, which is very good. That is what the random does. And you'll see we can see the ID, my name, my ID again, when we was kicked, what channel he was kicked on, and the reason is logged there as well. It's just the profile picture of the person that was kicked, and also the person of the picture thumbnail with who was kicked. So there you go. That is literally it. That is how simple it is to make a ban and kick command. It took around 20 minutes, but anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching this episode. If you find this helpful, make sure to drop a like down below. Again, the source code is found in the description. And with that, in the next episode, we're going to code something different. See you guys in the next episode.